Alright, so I'm going to take you into the world of gamification mechanics. So we're not talking about game mechanics, but I'm going to explain what it means from like the new perspective, which is not the 90s way of thinking about gamification. So first I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Jonas, I'm from Finland, from a startup called Clusterloop, and my background is in game design and team building, branding, marketing, and a lot of business development. And basically what we at Clusterloop are doing is we're trying to create new kind of gamification. So applying game mechanics to real world issues and creating some real value behind everything. And basically, first I'm going to tell you what I mean with gamification. So the general consensus is that you have game mechanics in video games, plus you have non-gaming context, which is boring stuff, for example in Office. And you apply these together, which means you get gamification. So more fun Office time, more fun everywhere. But this is actually wrong. And let me tell you why. We use this framework called octalysis, and there's a good quote called "Good gamification does not start with game elements, it starts with core drives." Pascal before was talking about how players, you need to understand them and try to figure out how to get the players to do what you want them to do. So what motivates them, what drives them forward. I'm going to explain to you a little bit how we at Cluster look at the things and how we use this framework called octalysis from Yukai Cho, who has done a lot of studies about gamification for the past 15 years almost. And basically I'm going to go through this kind of monster. So all of these 8 cores are basically what drives us to do some kind of decision, whether it's to take the action to play a game that you're designing, or go to the movies, choose what kind of clothes we wear. Anything we do is based on these 8 cores. For more information, it's actually, these are the open ones. So basically, we have epic meaning and calling of something. So basically an epic story. Development and accomplishment of oneself. So basically the idea that you would do something to get yourself, for example, healthier. Empowerment of creativity and feedback. So we want to create something. We want to give ourselves to the world. Ownership and position of something. So basically virtual goods. So when you do some in-app purchases, that's what these would be. Social influence and relatedness. So basically it means what other people are thinking about us in social media, for example, or in real life. Scarcity and impatience. So basically the need to have something right now, which is a mechanic that Kickstarter uses really well. They basically present you with a product and a timer and tell you that you have to have it, and this is when you need to have it. Unpredictability and curiosity. So just the motivation to do something, for example, for a reward. Gambling industry uses this kind of mechanics a lot. So basically we want to play something for a chance of reward, but we're not angry even if we don't always get it. And the loss and avoidance of bad things. So basically nobody wants bad things to happen themselves. And the octalysis is what actually has multiple layers of different gamification. This is just the layer number 1, and it's broken down in these kind of different parts. So right now here you see this represents the left side of your brain, which is more logic-based cores. So logically thinking, these are the values we would consider if we're doing logical meaning and something. And basically on the right side is the creative side. So if you're a really creative person, you probably feel more towards these cores in order to get you to do an action. We also have this upper and lower layer. The upper layer is basically called white hat mechanics, and the lower one is called black hat mechanics. So the top layer is positive reinforcements. So they are meant to give you a really positive feedback and a positive meaning of doing something. The lower ones are kind of not considered bad mechanics, but they are mechanics that try to make you basically do something because of you don't want it to happen. And this octalysis is something we use, and I hope that you guys will look it up and try to study it, because this is just layer number 1, and it has 5 more layers, and each layer goes deeper and deeper into understanding how to design with the player in mind and make really meaningful design choices when you're making gamification mechanics. And now we're gonna go to the actual meat of this talk. What are gamification mechanics and how to design them? So everyone probably knows this little guy, and you know that Nintendo is starting to release a lot of their old IPs in mobile now. So I made an example of how you could take this old guy with a simple mechanic that relies on jump and the coins to make something that would actually impact the world at a larger pace. And I will show you a 4-step guide that we use when we design gamification mechanics. So basically, what if we turn that coin into a water bottle? That water bottle goes to Africa for children who need water. It's pretty crazy, right? How would we ever be able to design this in a meaningful way that we can actually sustain? So step number 1 would be select the game mechanic that is really important in your game. So this can be done for a game that already has been created, or you can also just think about it when you are starting to design something. So in Mario's case, jump, hitbox, coins. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to really break down this mechanic. When is it used in the game? What is it used for? Why is it used for that? And all these different kind of things. And we need to really come up with a main of, like, for example, it's used most of the time in each level. It's the jumping mechanic is used to clear gaps, get to places, hit blocks, dodge and jump. And it's multifunctional, easy to use, hard to master. You can go really deep in this, and the deeper you go with these breakdowns, the better understanding you have of how you can use these to design something that is meaningful. And basically, after you do the breakdown, the first issues arise when you're trying to turn it into a gamification mechanic. So, for example, the coins are appearing too much. If each coin represents a water bottle that we send to Africa, that's really crazy. We would have to send thousands of bottles every time players play it online. For example, how do we make it sustainable? Can we design around it, or do we have to change the actual mechanic or the design of the game? And then more issues to solve. The water side of things. How do we get the water to Africa? Do we send it bottle by bottle? Do we partner with a manufacturer? Do we do donations? What kind of methods do we choose? These are things that you can all select yourself, but you have to rely and make sure that you always tie everything in with the mechanics that you broke down. So what we would do in Clusterloop is that we are basically going to pick a real world benefit, action and motivation for the player. And it all starts with the octalysis that I showed you before. We have this part which is, for example, social influence and relatedness. So if we're designing a Mario for mobile, for example, we would be able to use social aspects of the game. And basically, using these, water to children in Africa. So if we break it down even more, our cause, the octalysis driving core that we chose, and we look at the character and the game itself. So, for example, Mario is a plumber. Plumbers will fix water issues. Children in Africa are in big need of clean water. anyone can relate to this issue and it has a real impact. So let's make a social decision out of it. So for example, we would make so that players can collect the coins and they can send them only to their friends online, mobile social version of Mario. And basically what this would mean that friends can use the in-game currency to either buy power-ups or they can use the coins to buy water for Africa. It's a really nice idea, but how do we actually get this to happen? Because the monetization and everything behind it would cost us millions. Well, we have to design a monetization around this feature itself. So basically, we would have to figure out how to sustain this kind of system. So basically, what kind of redesigns would the game have to do in order to accommodate this? So we would have to take, for example, add the social media features into the game, turn the coins into an actual in-game currency, make power-ups a benefit obtained by the coins, so no more free mushrooms flying everywhere, you just buy them as a power-up. And for example, the water bottle will have to be a really cheap object in the game, so that it doesn't take a lot of money to get it, but we still have to calculate that it's actually doable. And basically, we would allow real players to buy real coins with real money, and basically we would have to control the amount of free coins we give in the game. So it's a constant battle of trying to make sure that you keep it sustainable. And basically, let the players do the work. And what I mean by this is that by making the water bottle donation a social decision, we will be giving players the pressure to do the right thing. So their friends are sending them the coins, and what do they do with it? So do they buy a power-up for themselves, be a little bit selfish, or would they actually buy the water bottle and basically get it sent to Africa? So you're actually creating a system where players would have to and want to do the right thing because it's a social pressure. So we could even enforce this even more by using peer pressure and different kind of actions in the game to make sure that the players would use this to send water to Africa. So these are the 4 steps itself that we would use. And basically, this is the difference between game mechanics and gamification mechanics for our idea. Game mechanics are about achieving a goal in a fun way, but gamification mechanics are about solving real issues with game mechanics in a sustainable way. So in short, gamification, how we see it, is a game mechanic plus a real-world issue plus motivation driver from the actualizers and monetization all wrapped into this one gamification mechanic, which includes these, and it's rewarded motivation, not just for the players, but also for the developers, because you have a cause that you're trying to make better. You want to send water to Africa for children who don't have any clean water. And the players will feel good because they're doing something good while they're playing the game, and they're actually doing it socially. And all this will be a more fun and better world for gamification. So if you guys have any questions, you can contact me at any time. We talk a lot about gamification, and we do a lot of different unique new things in this area. And pretty much that's it.